Well, good morning, guys. Good morning. Yeah, I hope you're doing well. It is Wednesday, so welcome back to another trading session here. I hope you're doing well. It's the middle of the week, so the weekend is approaching really fast here. Today we will have FOMC minutes around 2 p.m. So it's not the big FOMC event, but we have to take it into account because this today can be some sort of a range bound session. The New York AM session can be some sort of a range bound session. I'm not expecting that, honestly, but yeah, it can act like that, and price can eventually wait for FOMC until it delivers to our draw on liquidity. So right now, let's get straight into the charts and let's see what we can eventually expect from today's action. So yesterday we had a big drop here right after taking some new all-time highs. Price just displaced lower, meeting this 4-hour fair value gap, the bullish one. It kind of left some relative equal lows behind. So this is the previous day low. And during Asia session, it kind of range bound here. And London, I assume it kind of manipulated to the upside, meeting almost the midpoint of this bearish 4-hour fair value gap formed from this yesterday's drop. So right now, looking into the charts, what do we expect as our draw on liquidity, right? That's the main question, and that would give us some sort of a plan to play the New York AM session. So I'm expecting previous day low and these relative equal lows act as our draw on liquidity. At this point, we kind of took out London highs, Asia highs as well. So we have London lows, Asia lows, and previous day low and taken. So these are just clean lows. So I believe we can eventually, if we reject from this bearish fair value gap, we can eventually come lower. We have an SMT here in between NQ and ES. ES already took out London highs on a pre-high session. And right now, right before the open, so we are opening, the opening bell is right now 9:30. We took out pre-market highs as well. So, but I believe we can eventually go for another run to the upside to take out this one as well. I will wait for it. I will take a look at the regular trading session as well, which is right here. So we kind of took out this buy side liquidity on the regular trading session hours as well. And we formed some sort of a opening range gap, not that big, honestly. But yeah, let's see if price wants to take out this high here and then eventually displace lower, because my bias is kind of bearish. If price continues higher, I might not interact with it, but I will give it some time before anything happens. At this point, NQ already took out London highs as well. Yeah, it kind of took out London highs. ES already took out this buy side liquidity formed right at 9:30. So I will get back to the electronic trading session, and I will mark the 9:30 open as well here. So I believe this is the open. Just let me zoom in a bit. Yeah, it is. So price is now trading in between these opens, so the 9:30 open and the 8:30 open. I forgot to mark the midnight open. Just let me mark the midnight open first. So midnight open, I believe it's here. Yeah. So right at the quarter of this bearish fair value gap. As you can see, the opens are quite stacked here. So they are next to each other. And whenever we have the opens next to each other, we can eventually consider a range bound session. But yeah, let's give it some time to see if price really wants to give it just a range bound session, or if it will take any direction into some draw of liquidity. Right now, NQ is heading to the upside. Quite a strong open for NQ. Meanwhile, ES is stuck here in between these opens. Let me just check what YM is doing. So YM displacing heavily to the downside right away, right at the open. So we have some mixed behavior in between the indices. So let's see. At this point, we kind of took out. Yeah, we didn't deliver, but we kind of rejected the midpoint of this 4-hour fair value gap. No first presentation here. Still. And price is really inside the opens. I believe we will have the first presentation here if the candle just closes as it is. Yeah, ES heading south here. We have the yen walk supporting price right now. So let's see if it will support price, or if it will just offer us a minor setback to our main draw on liquidity. But yeah, let's wait. Let's wait a bit. We have 950 as our main macro. So right now, price is just displacing lower. NQ not following this behavior. Why I'm just looking for some downside as well. So yeah, straight move to the downside here. And at this point, I believe YM will probably take out this previous day low. In the meantime, yes, already took out some of these pre-market lows, but I will not engage with it right now, right away, since NQ is still trying to push a little bit more to the upside. I want to see NQ losing some strength here and not delivering higher price action. So this SMT, I will take this out from here. At this point, there is no SMT at the top in between ES and NQ. So we kind of lost all these opens. 8:30 open, midnight open, and 9:30 open. And we are now playing inside the NWalk. Notice how we traded right into the midpoint of this 4-hour fair value gap and kind of rejected from it. NQ is still pushing. So it's kind of a tricky situation here because ES is doing one thing and NQ is doing another thing. So they are not in sync right now. Let's see. Let's see if this end wall will act as support on price and we will face some sort of reversal at 950, or if we will continue to the downside, which was my main plan, eventually delivering to previous day low. But at this point, it's, as you can see, price is kind of range bound here, taking these highs, taking these lows. And if we displace once again to the upside, then this might be a seek and destroy environment. NQ acting as the stronger sister, pushing price to the upside. And now ES retesting this fair value gap, the first presentation here. So we bounced off from the analog. Let's see if ES really rejects this first presentation, and if NQ loses some strength and some momentum, that would be interesting to see. Let me just take another look at YM. Yeah, YM very close to previous day low. I guess it will take the previous day low, and as soon as it takes the previous day low, it will be hard to do anything on ES. So this was a clean rejection of the first presented fair value gap. A rejection of 8:30 open as well. So we might form an order block here as well on ES. Seems like NQ is losing some momentum as well. I just don't like these flat candles here. Let's see if this fair value gap here holds, this bearish one. We still have 40 seconds before this candle closes, so we might wait for it. Yeah, so far nothing is clear. But I can see NQ starting to lose some momentum here. It was a straight move to the upside. Let's see if it holds or if we might retrace lower. Let me just check the regular trading session. Yeah, we have some relative equal lows here. We have these ones right here as well. Yeah, so far we have no fair value gap here on ES, but it seems like it is heading to London lows. Let me just take a measure of how many handles do we have to play here. And let me just take another look at the Dow because I don't want to engage in any shorts after the Dow took some liquidity here. Hmm. I'm just putting this to the side. If we form some more relative equal lows here. Yeah, but this NWALK is still acting as support. I don't want to see price trade above 830 open if we are still bearish or eventually above the first presented fair value gap. Let me just take a look at YM here. Yeah, YM is mitigating these imbalances before reaching previous day low. So we might see some bullish momentum here or some bullish movements on. Yes, there we go. Yeah, NQ really pushing once again to the upside. So everybody who is trying to short is now being punished. Let's see, because we have these pre-market highs Still open here on ES. We'll take this off. But yeah, if you look into the 15-minute chart on ES, it's been quite messy since 4 a.m. So it's just a back and forth action here on ES. And Q just pushing to the upside as well. So nothing bearish here. Still nothing bearish. So we will still wait before heading into something. This movement here is not enough for me to engage with longs because we didn't took out any measure of sell side liquidity here as well. As you can see, we still have these 6 a.m. lows still intact. And if you look into the regular trading session, yeah, we took out the sell side liquidity from yesterday's close. But I don't see that this is enough for me. We closed 100% of the range. But yeah, the analog is doing the bullish job here, supporting price and letting it move to the upside. So far we are in a seek and destroy environment, as you can see. So price is kind of stuck inside of this consolidation box. And yeah, if price really stays here inside of this is like a no man's land. So there's nothing we can do here. I will let the market run for some minutes more. Let's see if the macro plays out with some bearish momentum, or if it will just give us a retrace here to the first presented fair value gap and then move straight to the upside. So now we are watching a bearish displacement here. If price is bullish, this should act as a breaker. But as I told you, I can't consider this a valid breaker because I would like to see this eventually. Only this here would be eventually enough. But if we are bearish, yeah, we left these relative equal highs here as well. So just let me take another look at the Dow just to see what it is doing. Yeah, NQ really the strongest asset right now. It's been a straight move to the upside since the open. YM is the weakest one right now. And I guess yes, it's the one who stays in the middle of this action. Yeah, seems like YM will take another dive here just to take out previous day low. It is heading south while ES is still inside the range. So probably ES will wait for um will wait for YM to take out the low. And then eventually move to the upside. But not clear. This action is not clear today. Good morning, TMs. How you doing? Well, my bias for ES was initially was previous day low, since we left some relative equal lows here down below. So I believe since we rejected the midpoint and we are rejecting the midpoint of this fair value gap, the 4-hour fair value gap, I was expecting a drop lower, attacking along London lows, Asia lows, and eventually previous day low as well. But price action is kind of messy right now. If you look into the 15-minute, it's terrible. So, and NQ is not allowing this downside to happen because it's been just pushing to the upside since the open, and that to me is it's kind of suspicious. Meanwhile, if you look into the Dow is actually getting into previous day low, and it will probably in the next couple of minutes hit previous day low. So yeah, I believe it will work. The bias will work for YM, but at this point, I'm kind of having second thoughts about this bias on ES, because ES is still ranging, and it might be a range bound session because we will have FOMC at 2 p.m. So it can happen that we will face some sort of seek and destroy price action until FOMC. But at this point it's kind of hard to decide what to do, because if you look into NQ is just pushing. I don't see NQ losing strength. ES is still range bounding, and YM is trying to attack previous day low. So the three are doing three different things. So it's kind of hard to take some sort of decision on our bias. And even to be long here on ES, I can't be long here because we didn't take out this liquidity, the 6 a.m. liquidity here, this 6 a.m. low. We didn't take out London lows. So yeah, price can eventually go higher here, but it's kind of suspicious to me because we didn't take any measure of liquidity that's really important. So I don't know. My initial bias was definitely previous day low, but it's kind of hard. Yes, your logic here it's accurate, because whenever we are in playing all-time highs, you are playing the most probable scenario, which is all-time highs. So I guess you can be right too. But in order to be bullish, I need to see some lower manipulation, and this is not enough for me. If we if we have taken some sort of London lows, or eventually the 6 a.m. low, and then displace higher, forming some sort of a bullish breaker or something like that, or a unicorn model, yeah, I would be long and would be eventually targeting all-time highs. But in this case, I can't be long right now. But yeah, you're kind of right. When we are next to all time highs is always the strongest drawn liquidity. There's no stronger liquidity than all time highs. But in order to accept that narrative, I need to see some lower action happening, because there's a lot of liquidity here. Those who played yesterday's PM session with longs, those who played the Asia session with longs, those who played the London session with longs are still making money, and that's not usual for a market like this. It tends to punish everybody first, and then it will move. And I'm not seeing it happening here, and that's why I'm kind of reluctant with the fact that we are bullish. But there we go. We have the macro happening, and the macro is really moving higher. NQ is doing a fantastic job for those who just closed their eyes and moved long, and just open their long positions. Let me just take another look at YM. Probably YM already took out previous day low, but it didn't. Yeah, we are still some handles away from it. But yeah, so far the longs are playing. The breaker hold here held very well. The first presented for value gap held very well. 8:30 open, midnight open, 9:30 open. So yeah, I guess I might be wrong here. Yeah, I believe all-time highs is, it's always tricky to play. I guess you have to play longs until they fail, but um, I think it's always tricky to play them, and I'm not the best one playing all-time highs. I have to admit, I have to I have to improve a lot playing these all-time highs. Yeah, I'm not rushing into any trades because I had a plan. My plan A was a bearish scenario. My plan B was the bullish scenario. But in order to engage with plan B, I needed to see some sort of major liquidity being purged. And I believe the 815 low was not enough for me. And if you look into the regular trading session hours, yeah, you can see a lot of liquidity here. Okay, we kind of closed the opening range gap. We kind of took out this liquidity here. But we are still saving all these relative equal lows, these relative equal lows. So that's kind of suspicious for me. But yeah, longs are playing right now, and congrats if you took any long position, you might be in profit right now. Yeah. Whenever the market is on all-time highs, it has a slightly different behavior from a range bound or from a normal um, price action behavior. It might left some liquidity. It might left some liquidity behind um, for some later action, or and that's quite tricky because if you do that in normal market conditions, yeah, you will get burned. You will probably get burned if you try to act like, oh, price will not take out this low, or will not take out this low, and I will long right here. In normal conditions, yeah, you will probably get burned. But in all-time highs, as I was saying, um, this is the biggest magnet that you can have here. All-time highs. This is the biggest magnet, especially in conditions like this. But I also believe that a lot of people um, were left behind here on this move. I guess a lot of people is still watching this, and yeah, and just waiting like me, just waiting for some sort of a manipulation. This here was a Judas swing, but yeah, I needed it to be a little bit lower for me to interact with it. But so far, it kind of presented a unicorn model, breaker plus fair value gap here, and yeah, it kind of displaced right away from it. So let's see if price really can get above these uh, 4 hour points of interest here on ES. I will mark this last leg here just to see, no, not this one. I will project it just to see how far we can go and where price is now. So implied fib. It's kind of a strange area, but as you can see, we stopped right at minus 2.5 standard deviation, and yeah, it's quite accurate here. -1, -2.5. And if we stretch it a little bit more, probably to -5 or -6, we can eventually have some confluence with the all-time highs. Yeah. Just let me push this a little bit more. So if we are really bullish here, we need to wait for some sort of retracement, probably into this fair value gap here, which marks, damn, I need to zoom in a bit, which marks the 75% of the 4 hour fair value gap here, which is being inverted. And it marks as well the -1.5 standard deviation, which is usually used as a retrace area, something like this. this might be left open here, this breakaway gap. But I also believe that price will not give us the opportunity to engage with it. I don't know. Just watching it in Q, it's kind of a one shot, no opportunities, no second chances. Just let me take a look here. Yeah. So let me just take another look here at YM, and YM really left some relative equal lows once again. Yeah, the way the market is acting right now, it really doesn't happen when we are in normal conditions. I believe this liquidity is left behind on purpose because price is really in a rush to hit all-time highs once again. So just watching. Plan A didn't deliver. So we are still watching. Still watching and learning from it as well. See, there's no retracement at all. This was the accumulation, and price is just in a hurry to deliver higher. We will probably not have any chance to engage with it, honestly. Yeah, at this point, I will not engage with it as well. At this point, I will let it run and do its own thing. And probably hope for some sort of SMT in between NQ and AS. NQ delivering probably a new all-time high, while AS is not reaching for it. Because right now, if I would take anything here, I would chase it. So, and I've burned myself a lot of times chasing price, so I will not do it. I prefer to stay away from it because it was not part of my plan. Then give the chance to the market to burn me. It's not worth it, honestly. I have a lot of scar tissue present. So let me just delete this. So let me just switch to NQ just to so NQ 930. Yeah, it is a straight move to the upside here. And even if we look into the regular trading session, so 930, yeah, no measure of sell side liquidity was taken here on NQ. Not even the low of the 930 candle. So this is just some straight move up, and at this point we can only do anything as soon as we hit this buy side liquidity here on NQ, which is 25,266. Just let me, yeah, 25,266. It doesn't need to go to all-time highs, because on a regular trading hour your all-time high is slightly below. So whenever you just question yourself, whoa, why price did not reach for that level? Yeah, just check the regular trading hours and you will see why. But yeah, it was a very nice delivery here. I kind of identified it as the breaker here, but it was not part of my plan, so I just let it play. Let me just take a sip of water here from my wife's bottle. I wouldn't call it a bottle. It's something much bigger, but yeah, it's useful, I guess. That way you don't have to refill it all the time. It's about a 2 liter bottle. So 10:10 and the macro just ended. I believe we will have a straight move to the upside until 10:50, unless NQ hits previous day high or that buy side liquidity first. So with this kind of behavior, I guess we will have some sort of a retracement after 11, especially on NQ. It can happen, but so far there's nothing we can do besides watching it. Kind of left without us, and yeah. No, it would be crazy if we get a straight move to the downside. That would make me laugh. But yeah, I don't believe it. That's the case. And I honestly believe that the fact that the US is being on government shutdown, it's not helping much as well. Price action is not that clear lately. So I believe it tends to put things in a harder perspective. And if you look at this, since the 1st of October, we are still ranging. And if you look at the daily, yeah, 1st, 2nd of October, these are all inside candles, so it's kind of hard to trade this. And yeah, look at this. So far, this bullish fair value gap is holding price. Um, and we are now heading to the upside without any measure of manipulation here. So price now retracing a bit here, not engaging in any shorts, just retracing. Let's see how far it will retrace. Usually we can retrace to this area here if we are still bullish. Let me just check the ranges of these candles. It's a 3-handle candle, so since the first presented fair value gap, we made about 20 handles. It's quite a good move. So price seems like it's manipulating, taking out these stops from late longs. Let's see if we go a little bit lower. Because if we take a measure of some OT levels, we have equilibrium right at the midpoint of this fair value gap, right at the quarter of this bigger point of interest. A little bit lower, we have the 62% retracement, and all these levels, they have some confluence with minus 1.5 and minus 1, which usually are the retrace areas. So let's wait. Yeah, so far, no trades, just watching price action. Our first plan, so plan A didn't deliver. I was expecting previous day low, but even plan B, which is drawn liquidity as all-time highs, it kind of not deliver because for bullish buys, I was expecting eventually the 6 a.m. low being taken, or more logically, London lows being taken before heading to the upside. And I was watching NQ, and NQ really made a straight run to the upside without taking any kind of liquidity, without any sort of manipulation. And usually that to me is a no-no. So even plan B didn't deliver. And whenever your plan A and plan B, if they don't deliver, you just watch and learn. You don't have to take trades every single trading session. You have to accept that. Otherwise, you will eventually miss your trading account. What about you guys? Those who are watching, have you taken any trades yet? Are you just watching as well? Um, what was your daily plan, your trading session plan? Where you expect all-time highs? Where you expect bearish action? Um, what was your trading idea for today's trading session? Yeah, TMs. That's right. The only thing that he could eventually take as a long entry is here, the retest on the first presented fair value gap. And I was watching it. I pointed these relative equal highs that were left behind. I saw price coming down, retracing into the fair value gap. I marked the breaker, which is this green candle here. And this is the only entry that you have. If you didn't take this entry, then you're just chasing price, I guess. Because entering right now, yeah, that's not part of my model. It can deliver higher, and as I said before, if price will just run like this, I will not engage with it because I don't know whenever it wants to retrace lower, but this was the only opportunity here, honestly. And I would have taken it if we would have taken 6 a.m. lows or London lows. I would have taken it, but it didn't deliver that low. And because of NQ not taking any sort of any type of liquidity, I was, I will not entering this. So the run will continue here. Seems like yes is leaving a breakaway gap on the 15-minute. NQ already has 2 breakaway gaps. Let me just take another look at YM just to see. Yeah, that's incredible. That's really incredible. And it's this type of behavior is really a all-time high behavior when prices leaving these points of liquidity behind, and it's just rushing to the upside just to take out new highs, new buy side liquidity, and eventually all-time highs. This is in normal market conditions. If you try to do this, you will for sure get burned. But I guess in all-time conditions, all-time high conditions, this is quite normal, and you have to be somehow an experienced trader to enter just like this, or a blindly a blind trader, or yeah, someone who, okay, I will just I will just click the long button and we will get to all-time highs. You probably don't know what you're doing, because if you try this in normal conditions, you will get punished. But yeah, this is quite a lesson. This is quite a lesson because it was a fast deliver, a fast delivery, um, and quite efficient. Not in terms of price, because there's a lot of inefficiencies still, but the move was pretty good. Just let me check if we had to take this long. If we had taken this long, just let me check. Yep, below the breaker, above the first presented fair value gap. If we had entered here, I would assume that would have probably taken the majority of the position around this quarter, eventually leaving a runner to the top of the fair value gap. So it would be a 3.4 risk to reward ratio. And if we stretch it to all-time highs, then that would be a monster trade. Yeah. But even so, at this point, when price was here, I would have taken the majority of the position out and probably leave a runner to all-time highs. But yeah, we are just ifing, and I don't like to if things because it can bring some anxiety, and I don't want to deal with anxiety, and I don't want to deal with all those ifs, if this, if that. If your mind goes into that cycle, just try to um, distract your mind from it, because it can be really toxic. Loadings SMT with NQ, what do you think at this point? At this point, I don't know. I need to see some buy side liquidity, some major buy side liquidity first being purged. And yeah, earlier I was talking about NQ is I will take NQ as an example. I would consider those SMTs after taking some measure of buy side liquidity. I still believe we will go higher here. NQ, and look at this. These flat candles, they rarely stay intact. So I don't know. I would have taken into account an SMT if some measure of buy side liquidity is being taken, and only all-time highs, or this buy side liquidity is referring to the regular trading session hour, which is here. So if price really comes here and we see some measure of SMT here, so SMT, that's kind of strange, but followed by displacement, then yes, I would eventually consider, but not right now. Yeah, we left a flat candle here as well. So these flat candles usually they tend to be attacked. They don't stay intact. These flat tops, they usually don't stay intact. So yeah, like I said before, only if buy sell liquidity is somehow purged, or it can be another possibility, which is time. If if we see some sort of SMT or displacement lower inside a macro or after 11, then I would eventually consider we going lower. But going lower just for retracement, so you never know when that retracement will end. Probably next to your low hanging fruit. So you have to be quite fast taking profits and protecting yourself because price is still in a rush. It's still in a rush to eventually go higher. If you look at the Dow, the Dow will take out these highs as well. So this was this was quite insane here. So we are just watching. There was for me there was only one opportunity to engage with it, but yeah, it didn't deliver as I would like to see. So we are approaching 10:50, 7 minutes before 10:50. I will mark out this SMT that Lorenzo talked about. So SMT here. And let's see if this is really a reclaimed fair value gap here. Where do I have it? Reclaimed. Or if it will act as an inversion fair value gap. Right now it is reclaimed as a bullish one. Seems like price is now stuck inside this range. Somehow an accumulation here. Yeah, this reclaimed one is kind of failing. But as you see, it's lacking some speed here. So that's why I don't like to engage with this counter trending action. It's not my cup of tea. It might be the quickest reward situation because you don't have to wait for something to develop. But it usually doesn't deliver uh, quite good. I prefer to wait for something than just to engage with the first retrace that I see and that we can expect. Because whenever we are in this case in a short, in a counter trending short, that's kind of frustrating because it will take about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 minutes to deliver this movement, and in about a fraction of the time it will take you to break even once again or eventually into a loss. So you have to wait 6 minutes just to see your position get into a break even state in about 30 seconds or 1 minute. And that to me, it's kind of annoying and it wastes a lot of mental capital. Whenever I'm in a trade, I like to see these type of things when price does not return or does not scare you. And here you, if you take a short here, it definitely will scare you because it's a slow pace to the downside, and suddenly you will have a straight move to the upside. It doesn't mean that we will go down and eventually take out these lows, um, but the way it does, yeah, it doesn't entice me. I don't like that. So price is not working this fair value gap. It's not a reclaimed or an inversion right now. It's just working it. It's a work in progress for value gap. So as you can see, there's a lot of back and forth here. If we take take it down to a 15-second, you will see. There we go. See, it's just taking these highs, taking these lows, so it's working its way out from here, probably to the downside or eventually to the upside, but right now it seems like it will go to the downside. But yeah, the way it does, I don't like it. So at this point, NQ already took out this low, while ES is still here on the upside. Let's see if it will take out this low here. As of now, we are inside a macro. So probably two things can happen, or we will reverse from here and we will do something like this and continue to the upside, or effectively we will go lower, probably retracing to these lows, heading to this area right here, eventually coming down to the midpoint as well. So this is a time-based, not a liquidity-based action, because there's still buy-side liquidity resting above these highs. Same on NQ. So at this point, I can eventually change this to a inversion type of fair value gap. Slow paced move to the downside here. At this point, I can take the other one out and can eventually mark this as a bearish fair value gap here. So Lotus, I don't know if you traded that SMT, but it's slowly grinding to the downside. But for me, on ES, there's no model here for me, so it's just range bound for me. So once again, rejecting here the bearish fair value gap here. Nice rejection. You can see that the rejection was made at the midpoint of that fair value gap price never was not able to close above the midpoint. Yeah, that's too slow, right? Yeah, I had the same feeling. There's no momentum here. Price can eventually deliver lower, but I have a lot of scar tissue being inside of these positions where price is delivering slow, 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 and suddenly a green candle just appears from nothing, and yeah, you just you just wasted about 1 hour of your time in a short position that's barely delivering, and in a matter of seconds, it kind of destroys all your profit and puts you at break even or even at loss. So that's why I don't like to engage with these types of situations. I've done it before many times, and yeah, it kind of frustrates me a lot being in something like this, and suddenly the price just doing these types of conditions, and as soon as it takes a low hanging fruit just like this, it boom delivers higher and eventually gives a continuation. This is frustrating to me, and I tend to avoid those types of conditions. It doesn't mean that sometimes I will eventually um, get caught in those types of conditions, but I try to avoid it the most I can. If only there was some sort of momentum or displacement, clear displacement, but there's no clear displacement. These candles are all the same size. So let's see if inside the macro it will give us that type of inversion that we were talking about. Let's see if this inversion holds and if price will continue to the upside, because right now we have an SMT in between ES and NQ right here. But at the same time, we have one here. And whenever there's two SMTs, that's also tricky. It means that price can eventually take some more time into this consolidation here. We have some sort of a bullish breaker as well. And we are inside a macro. So this can be an entry point, but I cannot consider this displacement at all as well. Let's see what price does as soon as it takes this high. So far, no retracement to the downside. And looking at the 15-minute, we might consolidate for a bit more. So unless you open your position on a green candle, there's no opportunity to engage here as well. And according to ICT, your longs should be open in some sort of a red candle instead of a green candle. So nice retracement here. Coming back down to the inverted fair value gap. Let me check. It's 11 a.m. Yeah. I'm just waiting for an oral block formation here. You can still go lower. Yeah, it seems like NQ wants to push a little bit higher, but I need to see some momentum on an ES. It's kind of stuck here. And I don't like to be stuck in these types of conditions. Yeah. Yeah, this is too slow. Just let me check what YM is doing. Yeah, YM is still it didn't took out these highs, so it could be a little bit dangerous if YM already took these highs. But at the same time, I don't see any momentum here on ES. It's just kind of stopped here. So I'm kind of losing my interest on this position right here. Kind of boring. Kind of boring, and I kind of losing my interest, honestly. Cannot enter in a market where these candles, yeah, they represent one handle, but I don't know. It may take ages to deliver to all-time highs. Yeah, now we got some momentum. Okay, I don't mind to stay on the sidelines here. Yeah, if I would enter here, without without any sort of displacement or momentum, I would have probably taken off the risk, but I don't know. We are closing the macro as well. Let's see how price will behave as soon as it takes that high. Well, at least I identified the setup. Did you guys took the setup, or are you still watching? Because I didn't. I didn't take that setup. See if price will hold inside the volume imbalance here. It kind of feels like it will hold. There we go. Some sort of a slow paced market now, but it's delivering. It's kind of delivering. At least we identified it, but it was so slow. I decided to stay away from it. The price is still delivering here to the upside. Very slow pace, but slow and steady. At this point, we would be about 1.5 hour and reaching for minus 4 standard deviation. And Q is still not reaching for this high. So the conditions are not ideal here, but let's see. Let's see if price holds here on this order block. This could be another entry here if price really holds here. So at this point, if I were playing this trade, I would be at break even already. And if price delivers to the order block, I would eventually add one contract to it, or one micro, I mean. But things are kind of too slow. And I really don't like to play in slow conditions like this. Because suddenly there's something that can happen and you will be put at break even in a blink in a blink of an eye. So so at this point we are, just let me check the the stream status. Yeah, we are about 2 hours in. So I really would like to see this ending here. And I'm just watching this if it will give us something or not. Um, yeah, and Q kind of, it played the order block. It's still holding the order block, but there's no actual reaction to the order block. And now we have the reaction on the order block on NQ. And yes, still delivering here. Not the best situation, but it's a slow paced delivery. But it is delivering. So there might be some people who will long that. So the model, it's really there, but I would have liked to see some more displacement to the upside since we were in a hurry to reach for all time highs. It didn't happen. So I price kind of felt shy and started to deliver slower. Oh well. I have to admit, it's kind of frustrating to be in markets like this. If we can resume today's activity, um, there's only about, I don't know, 2 minutes of 2, 3, 4, yeah, 5 minutes. One candle, two candles, three candles, four, 5 candles. 5 candles of a clean move. This one here, it's a slow paced move. But yeah, there's only 5 minutes of clean moves. If you look at into the 5 minute, there's only one candle here that moved the market outside of the range. So the whole New York AM session can be resumed to this 5 minute move. So this is garbage here. This is also garbage here. And your gross profit would be realized by this 5 minute candle. Otherwise, there's nothing here. So yeah, guys, it's kind of frustrating whenever we have a market like this, but it is what it is. We cannot demand conditions, any type of conditions from the market. It's about 1 hour and 14 minutes just to take out, yeah, these highs here. So it's a lot. it's a market where your patient is very it's really putting to test your patience. I mean, it is what it is, but this market is really testing our patience. So yeah, guys, I believe the movement will continue to the upside despite all this numbness on price action. So if you took this position here somewhere around this red candle, um, congratulations. If you took out this long right here, congratulations as well. But another day at break even here for me. So no trades. The read was not good. Today I was kind of off. I was expecting previous day low as our drawn liquidity. It really didn't happen. So I was quite off with my bias. So I decided to be a spectator. Plan B was to engage with longs if London low was taken and some sort of a reversal happened. It didn't happen, so price decided to leave a lot of liquidity behind, and then we had this opportunity here right at 11. But yeah, I think I still need to get used to trade after 11. I'm not that comfortable taking a position after 11. So yeah, it is what it is. More days will come. So another break-even day. So it's better than losing money, honestly. So yeah, guys, thank you very much for being there. Hope to see you tomorrow once again. And yeah, thank you. Thank you for interacting here as well on the chat. And tomorrow is another day. Stay safe, guys. Okay? Thank you.